What's up guys, Jake here, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about snakes that make really great pets. Now when I think of a great pet snake, I think of something that first and foremost is relatively tame, something you can handle, something that eats fairly readily, and something that isn't too big, that it isn't going to take up a ton of space, isn't going to be a lot of work. Something small like a ball python. This is really a hard snake to beat in terms of a great pet. This is a spider ball python. They have a lot of different color morphs that make them incredibly beautiful animals, and overall I just really love ball pythons a lot. It's really hard to go wrong with a ball python. They don't get too big. They're very tame snakes. You're not really going to get bitten a whole lot by a ball python, and if you do, it's not going to be a big deal. They eat relatively frequently. Sometimes as babies they can have problems eating, but most of the time they're alright. And like I said, they don't get too big, and really they just kind of meet all of the standards for being a great pet snake. Like I said, this is a spider. You can get lots of different color mutations, and a lot of the really cool ones that were once designer end morphs are actually pretty cheap now. You can get something like this for less than $100. You can get albinos, lots of really cool stuff. I'm sure you guys are aware of all the cool ball python color mutations. So I think probably first and foremost you definitely have to think about ball pythons as great pet snakes. Next here we have a boa. Now this is not your normal Colombian boa. This is actually a Kenyan Sand Boa. The only thing about Kenyan Sand Boas is you won't often actually see them because they hide so much. Let me maneuver this for you guys so you guys can actually see him. I'll take him out here in a second, but as you can see, they spend a lot of their time burrowed in the substrate. That's kind of their mechanism for hunting. Their eyes are actually located on the top of their head, and they will actually sit and wait with their head above the substrate, looking for prey, and they're really cool to watch eat. Now the main thing with these guys is you're probably not going to see them a lot, but you can readily handle them. They're most often pretty tame. As you can see, it's not a large snake. Adult females get up to 3 feet maybe. They're pretty fat snakes, but they're not very long. You can keep them in a tub about this size. Something like that would be sufficient. And overall they just make really awesome snakes. They're really beautiful. Orange is just incredible. There's not a lot of snakes that display really red orange colors, but you can get some really pretty Kenyan Sand Boas. Again, there's a lot of color morphs with these guys as well. The only thing with these guys is you won't see them that often, and they also can sometimes be pretty tough to get on feeding frozen thaw. This guy eats frozen thaw every time, but as babies sometimes they'll only accept live prey. So if you get a well-established adult though that's eating frozen thaw, these guys can be fantastic snakes, and they're just so cool to watch. When you put this guy back, they burrow down into the substrate, and it's just really awesome. Probably, in my opinion, the best pet snake if you're looking for an animal that has all the qualities of being an amazing pet. Handleable, eats really well, not too big, beautiful animal. It really doesn't get any better in my opinion than boas. Boas are fantastic. There's so much variety with boas. This is what you would just kind of call your common boa. There's kind of what you call Colombian red-tailed boas. Now that's something more like, generally those will be kind of more of a gray color with an actual red tail. Your common boa, your BCI, is going to look more like this, more of a brown color, and not so much of a red tail. But regardless, they're fairly similar. The true red tails, the BCCs, can get a little bit larger. They can get 10 to 12 feet. These guys will be 6 feet, 7 feet maybe, which kind of sounds really big, but when a snake's coiled up, a 6-foot snake could probably fit in there. Maybe not this one, he's a little chunky, but he doesn't actually go in here ever. He just flips it around, which is good because it's not the water dish. And actually, I thought he pooped in it, because it's never fun when he flips the water dish over. It's usually pretty disgusting. But this guy, fantastic pet. I actually got this guy from somebody who, it was her boyfriend's, and he actually left it there, and I guess he broke up with her and just left one day, and he was just there, and I picked him up, and he's just an absolutely beautiful animal, complete sweetheart. He never attempts to bite me ever. He is food aggressive, which is a good thing in my opinion. He eats incredibly well. He's never refused a meal. Just an overall beautiful snake. This is probably my go-to snake when I want to bring an animal for kids or for just people to enjoy. He's large enough to be impressive, but not too large that it's really difficult to take care of him. And in my opinion, boas are just fantastic. They're readily available to get. They're pretty cheap most of the time. You can find boas on your local Craigslist that need good homes, and you get them for a really low price, and just amazing animals, honestly. I highly recommend, if you guys don't have a boa and you want an awesome snake, this is probably probably the best option. There's lots of color mutations as well if that's what you're into. You can get albinos and all sorts of cool stuff. But overall, I just love boas. I love Reggie. He's a great snake. Just amazing. Another amazing pet snake that also isn't using her hide are carpet pythons. These guys are kind of similar in their care to boas. Now they're a little bit different. They're more of a slender snake. This is an Irian. These guys can get like 5, 6, 7 feet maybe. You can get a coastal, which will be like, you know, upwards of, you know, maybe 12 feet. But again, they're kind of a slender snake, so, you know, a big carpet python's not something that's outrageous to keep. And she's very similar to Reggie. She's a very, very calm snake. This is actually, now that I think about it, this is probably my tamest snake. This was like the only snake that my stepmom was not like afraid of. They called this snake the puppy dog snake because she is just so tame. Right now she's going into a shed. You can see her color's a little bit dull, but there's a lot of different variety in carpet pythons. You can get jungles, which are, you know, the yellow and black signature, which is pretty cool. Like I said, this is an Irian. These guys are from like New Guinea. A lot of the other ones are from Australia, like the coastals and the jungles and stuff like that, Centralians. But there's just a lot of variety with carpet pythons. Again, most of the time they're very tame as adults. Sometimes as babies they can be a little bit nippy, but it's good to get that stage over with, you know, kind of grow with your snake and just get comfortable with it. And she eats incredibly well. Now this one only eats live for whatever reason. I've tried to feed her frozen many a time, but she's just an awesome snake. They're more of a semi-arboreal snake, so when you hold them, they'll actually just climb all over you. But yeah, again, this is another incredible snake. I highly recommend. Boas and carpet pythons, I think, are probably two of the best pet snakes because, like I've said, they get a pretty reasonable size, but not too big. They eat really well. They can be really tame, and they're just beautiful. And I just love this girl to death. I think Reggie and this girl right here, I call her Carpety because that's what the bowman always called his carpet python, and I thought that was just fantastic. But yeah, these two snakes are probably my favorites. I just love these snakes to death. I've had these for quite a while now, probably over, you know, 5-6 years at this point, and I just love them to death. So if you guys are looking for awesome pet snakes, these are just a few of the options that I have in my collection that I think would satisfy that. If I could get her back in her tub. Come on, girl. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.